Hi and welcome. I'm Celia from LTR Coaching, and I'm going to take you through a little yoga reset, a little relax, because it's really important that we take this time out for ourselves and make sure that we are promoting recovery. So a lot of the time when we're training, we're in a high stress state. So cortisol is elevated, we're rushing around trying to fit training in, and it's really important for your recovery, and so that you can adapt to your training, that you make sure that you take these little breaks and times to just reset and recover. If you're approaching menopause as well, or you're getting a bit older, then you might find that you really need to start incorporating this kind of stuff into your daily life, just for your mental well-being as well as physical, helping you to recover physically. So I really want you to think about taking this time for you. So make sure that your phone is switched off, you don't have any ringers going off or anything like that. But what I would say is have it nearby, because at the end we're going to do a little bit of relaxation. And when I do a relaxation at the end of a session, I quite like to set a timer so that I know, okay, I want to have like 10 minutes of relaxation time. It can be 5 minutes, it can be however long you want it to be. But if you've got a timer set, then it can really help you to just relax completely, because you know that your timer is going to go off after that amount of time. So if you've got your phone with you, that's fine. Just make sure it's switched off and you don't have any alarms going off in the middle of the session. Okay, so this session is going to be for shoulders. So we're thinking about relaxing our shoulders, because this is where we hold a lot of tension, especially when you're hunched over the bike, you're swimming a lot. This kind of part of your shoulder, part of your chest as well, gets very tight. So we're going to work on our shoulders opening up and relaxing and enjoying that feeling of relaxation. So to start off, we're going to just ground ourselves and get ourselves in the right space. So to do that, what I recommend is you find a comfortable way of sitting. So for me, a comfortable way of sitting is to be astride either a pillow. If you've got a bolster, that's fab, but if you've got a pillow, you will need it for this session. And also, I use a block. You can use books if you like. And that just gets me quite nice and high, and it means that my hips are above my knees like this, so I can keep my back nice and straight. So I'm going to start like that. There's other options if you want, so I'll just show you a couple of other options. You can stay with your knees down like that, but some people find that's quite painful after a little while on the knees, and it can also be quite hard to keep yourself nice and stable and strong, and this sort of nice straight line through the middle of your core. Another option is to sit cross-legged. So we can either sit cross-legged like this. I find this very difficult. My spine tends to curve out. So what you can do is sit up on a block. Again, then our hips are higher than our knees, and it's much easier to keep that straight spine. So find your position that you want to be in. And get myself sorted. So I'm going to be like this, and make yourself comfortable. So make sure you've got a nice straight spine, and make sure that you're comfortable, because you're going to close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths just to bring us into this space. So make sure that no one's going to walk in on you. Take this time for yourself and just gently close your eyes. And then we're going to breathe in through the mouth and feel the air go all the way down to your belly, and then fill it up and breathe out. And then we're going to breathe in all the way to the belly, and then breathe out. And try and make that breath nice and smooth. So you're breathing in, and then breathing out nice and smoothly, and taking that full deep breath, so you really feel your stomach to kind of inflate as you bring in the breath. And you're relaxing around there, because we sometimes can hold tension. You keep breathing whilst I'm talking into your belly and out. So sometimes we can hold our core very strong, trying to be strong all the time. Just bring that breath into there and then let it release. I'm going to take 3 more breaths. Two more. And then take the biggest, deepest breath you can. And drop your shoulders down as well when you breathe out. So keep your eyes closed and then just rub your hands together and build up a bit of heat between your palms. And then you can put your hands over your eyes and feel that heat. It's a really nice, relaxing way to absorb energy. So then you can open your eyes in behind your hands and then just open your fingers and just as you move your hands down your face, let yourself open your eyes and take a nice deep breath again. Okay. So we're going to start, well actually we can stay in this position, so you stay in your seated position. And we're going to start by doing some side stretches. I'm actually going to come down because it'll be easier to do this. Seated, cross-legged, but feel free to go in any position. And if you need to change positions at all, whilst we're doing the side stretch, then that's fine as well. So I'm just going to take one hand down to the ground next to you, fingertips on the floor, breathe in, bring your hand up, reach up, and then over to the side. So breathing out as you reach over. Breathe in, and then that hand comes down to the other side. And breathe out, and then breathe in, up to the sky, and keep that length as you move over to your other side. And breathe out. Breathe in as you come to the center again. Breathe out as you place your hand on the floor. Breathe in and then breathe out, and we're bending over to the side, making sure that you're keeping this nice length in the side so we're not collapsing down like a floppy tree. We're reaching up and towards the sky a little bit. Now we're going to do a few more of those. So breathing in and coming up, breathing out, hand down, breathing in, reaching up, and then breathing out to the side. And just keep your own rhythm and flow. Thinking about keeping a nice straight line all the way through the center of your body. So we're not collapsing forward. We're staying nice and strong and stable. Okay, one more to each side. In, over to the side. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, and then breathing out. And then we come back to the center again. Okay, so we're now going to do a few shoulder shrugs. So just going to go backwards and forwards a few times. Remember to keep breathing, keep relaxed. Keep your face relaxed if you can. And then forwards. Okay, and then we're going to do some from the sides, some full shoulder shrugs with our arms out. So we're going to go a little bit like a train. So we're getting some movement now into this part of the shoulder blade, which can get quite tense. So forwards a few times. And then back. Remember to keep breathing as you're doing this. Okay, so we're now going to stretch our chest out a little bit, so opening up the chest. If you come onto your knees, if that's not comfortable, then you can put a blanket or a towel underneath your knees or underneath anything that's in contact with the floor that's not comfortable at all. Or you can stay cross-legged if it's causing pain to your knees as you do this. So what you're going to do is just bring your arms up, breathe out, and then take your arms behind, clasp your hands together, and then just stretch across the chest. Take a few full deep breaths here. So we're filling up this belly again. And also breathing into the chest, so you're feeling a really nice stretch across the chest. And making sure that that chest is expanding as you breathe. So think of all the little alveoli, all the parts of your breath going into those spaces that you don't normally reach. And then we're going to take our hands back. If you can, reach to the floor and then push your chest forward. Now, if this is causing any pain in your lower back, then stay as we were. But if you're comfortable here, then just take some deep breaths here. We'll just do 2. And 2, then gently come up. So it's important not to rush this. Just give your shoulders a few shrugs. And then we're going to go into an eagle stretch. So again, sit how you're comfortable. You can be cross-legged or you can be on your knees. I'm going to take our right hand up, our left hand underneath, and then wrap that hand around. And if you can, you want to be trying to get your palms facing each other. If you can't do that, then you can just pull your elbow across your body like this. If you can, get both hands together, and then you can also bring your hands upwards, and that creates a really nice stretch across the upper shoulders and back. I'm going to take a few breaths here. You can close your eyes if you feel relaxed. And last breath out, and we unwrap our arms. Give your shoulders a little shrug, and then we're going to go to the other side. So I'm going to bring our left hand up and our right hand across and over. So again, if you can't do that, then you just bring your arm across your chest like this. But if you can, get your hands close together, and then start bringing them upwards. Wherever you start to feel anything, you don't want to be forcing this. You want to be relaxing into it, so you need to be able to breathe nice full breaths in this position. If you can't, then you might be trying too hard. This is about releasing and letting go, not forcing things. So take one more breath here. And then slowly unwind your hands. Okay, so we're now going to go into a cat-cow pose. So if you bring your knees underneath your hips, and then your hands underneath your shoulders, and just root down into your fingers. So you really ground through your fingers and make sure that your knees are comfortable. If they're not, and you need to put something underneath your knees to make them more comfortable, then that's absolutely fine. So in this position now, we're going to do what we were doing sitting up with our shoulders, a bit like a train. We're just doing some shoulder shrugs to bring a little bit of mobility into your shoulders and also get blood flowing in that area as well. And then we're going to go the other way. So if you went backwards, go forwards. If you went forwards, go backwards. So try and keep this nice and fluid. It feels a bit jerky sometimes. Try and keep it as fluid as you can. And keep breathing. And then we're going to do a couple of cat-cows. So we're going to drop the tailbone down as you breathe in and look up. And then as you breathe out, you're going to curl up towards the ceiling and drop your head down. And breathe in. And really think about each part of your spine gradually moving. So it's a nice smooth movement. Breathing out as you drop your head down. And breathing in as you look up. Make sure you've got a little bit of bend in your elbows as well. You don't want to be locking or forcing or tensing in these positions. This is about releasing and letting go. Okay, so one more. Going to breathe in. And breathe out. So the other thing is, come to a neutral spine. When you start slowing down in these movements, then you start to relax, because everything we do is fast. We're rushing from one thing to another. So this is time to just take it a bit slower. Okay, so we're going to move forward and back a little bit. Keep breathing. And then move from side to side a little bit as well. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is a shoulder stretch. And I will show you from the front. So we're staying in this position, all fours. And just bring your right hand forward. And then thread your left hand through the gap in your arm. And if you can, drop your head down to the side. If you can't, don't worry about it. And then take some deep breaths here. If you're up here and you're feeling a stretch, then that's all good. If you can drop down, then that's fine too. Either way, whatever works for you is the important thing here. You're not trying to copy. You're just trying to find where your point is, where your reference point is. So we'll take a few deep breaths here. We'll take 3. And then last breath, really releasing onto that shoulder. And then slowly move your hand up. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So move your left hand forward slightly and then thread your right hand through. And you might find this side is different. It might feel completely different. And if it does, that's okay. We're not machines. We're not made symmetrical. So we're going to take 3 breaths here. Really releasing into the shoulder and the upper back. Think about anywhere that you're holding. Last breath. And then I'm going to slowly come up to all fours. Okay, so before we do our relaxation, we're going to come back onto our backs and do a little bit of movement in the shoulders again, just to get some blood flow in there. So you can either lie down with your feet up, with your legs bent, or you can straighten your legs if that feels more comfortable. It's up to you, whatever works for you today. And it might be different on different days. You might try this another time and think, actually, I feel better with my legs, my knees up today. So whatever feels comfortable. And then if you take your arms out to the side, as if they're like goalposts, and you need some space behind you if you haven't got any, and out to the side of you. So you reach up behind you, and just bring your chin down so you're not arching in the neck. We're having a nice long neck here. We're getting some traction and some extension in the neck. So just tuck your chin in a little bit. Reach up, and then we're just going to bring our arms down by our sides and then back up again. We'll do a few of these with the breath. So breathe out as you bring your arms down, and breathe in as you bring them up. Breathe out as you bring them down. Do a few more. Really enjoy that movement as the ground is almost massaging your shoulders. You're being held by your mat and able to relax down. Okay, so once you've finished those, just get yourself comfortable. And we're going to get ready to lie down and have relaxation. So if you've got your phone, set yourself your timer if you want to have a timed relaxation. It can be any amount of time that you want. I'd recommend at least 5 minutes really. But if you don't have that long, that's fine. And you can do longer if you feel like you want to carry on and you get to the end and your alarm goes off and you actually want to stay there, that's fine as well. You might need that extra time. So what we're going to do now, what I find really comfortable for me is I'm just going to roll onto my side and place my bolster just behind my hips here. And then I'm going to lie back on it. So if you've got a pillow, you can try with a pillow. That's a good option as well. Make sure you're warm as well. So if you need a blanket or anything like that, then go grab a blanket, get yourself cozy, warm, comfortable. And if you want to, you can put your feet together and lie back, curl down onto the mat and just have your legs open to the side. It's a really nice hip opener. If you want to, you can place things underneath your knees, so pillows or blocks, anything like that, and that will give you a bit of support under your knees. If not, if you're quite comfortable as you are, then that's fine as well. Or you might want to straighten your legs. The hip opening just might not be working for you. You might just want to let your legs flop out to the side, straighten your legs, and then just let your toes flop out, whatever's comfortable for you. So I quite like to do a bit of a hip opener. And then palms up towards the ceiling, close your eyes, and we're going to take some breaths in and out here. So I'll take 3, filling up the belly. If you want to make a sound with your breath as you breathe out, and that really helps to release any tension. Last breath in, full breath. All the way filling up and then breathing out. And then just let your breath become natural. So just get into a natural breathing pattern. And think about how your body's feeling now. So if there's any areas that are feeling tight, if you've got any areas that you're not comfortable with and you need to move or get something to prop you up, then do that now. Because as you continue to lie here, any little niggle or irritation is probably going to start feeling, you're going to feel it more as you lie longer. So sort anything out that you need to now. Think about having a smooth face, so there's nowhere that's got tension. And your shoulders, just let them relax back into the floor, the ground, your pillow, your bolster. So the tension just melts away. Feel if there's any tension in the hips, and just breathe into those points of tension. And then as you breathe out, feel the tension leave your body. So when you breathe in, you're scanning and looking for anywhere that you're holding tight. And as you breathe out, you're letting that go. So you can continue like this for a few minutes, just looking for those areas of tension. And then just allow your breathing to become relaxed. And just enjoy this time for yourself. Take as long as you need. There's no rush. You do what you need to do to recover and reset. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.